situation update. The ride is going fine. It did start raining, and there is a wildfire happening. I'm passing by the Cedar Creek Fire, which is near Oak Ridge, Oregon. And the highway passing by is open, but you can definitely see the smoke and definitely smell it. But this rain that we just got, that I just rode through, should definitely help. I'm just going to admit this now. I'm not even at my destination yet, but I packed way too much stuff. This seat is quite literally a pain in the ass. Alright, so besides me bitching about the seat constantly, is everything else going? This thing that I packed way too much stuff of, which I don't know if I'll go through it, but it's basically too many pairs of clothes, and I have food in there. The saddlebags is mostly tools. There's camera stuff. This is extra gas, because, you know, I'm paranoid. I did not have a helmet mount for the GoPro because I 3D printed it and it broke just before I headed out on this trip, so I'm not going to have any cool helmet shots and Hopefully this is going to be okay. It seems pretty shaky, but that's all I got. The RAM phone mount, this is actually a great item. I was worried about my phone getting launched off of this, but it's got a good hold. These little rubber arms are very grippy. It's holding on very well. The USB adapter I put in, it does work, but when I used it with the hand warmers earlier, my bike wouldn't start. It really freaked me out, so I have not used anything electrical yet, even though my phone is like at 30%. The windshield, you can see by all this graveyard of bug guts, is doing great. But this is the stock windshield, so yeah. I did buy this slider mount off of AliExpress a long time ago, and it moves it up by a couple of inches, so you can actually slide this down. So I don't know if it's helping or not, but it's nice. And my unbranded, very close to copy of Kawasaki's handguards for the Versys 300, these are doing great. My hands are very well protected, and I'm quite happy with them. And they did not cost a fortune like the Kawasaki ones do. And if you're wondering what this is, I 3D printed this off of Thingiverse. This is a motorcycle cruise control. So what you do is you pull the throttle and then you push it down, and it's supposed to hold the throttle down. And then if you want to get off the cruise, twist it forward. I'm still very much a beginner when it comes to riding a motorcycle, and having this gorilla style cruise control still freaks me out. I brought it anyway just in case. Maybe I got confidence, and I've only used it maybe once or twice, and for a very short amount of times. But it seems to work. The motorcycle vibrates so much that it doesn't really stay, even with the 2 rubber bands holding it. This is my new best friend. I love this thing. It came with the bike, and I cannot live without it. I love this cramp buster. Instead of having to grip and twist, all I gotta do is just press with my hand. I don't need to twist. It's just a nice press. And this is saving so much fatigue. This is the best thing on this whole bike right here. My mileage has definitely suffered because of all of this and this, me. It weighs down the bike, so my mileage is not great. I get down to 2 bars on the fuel gauge, and I'm at like 130 miles, which usually by then, when I'm just commuting to work, I'd have like 180 miles, and I'm too paranoid to just let it run empty. So yeah, gas mileage is suffering, but yeah, almost at my hotel. I'm super tired. I'm sorry I'm not getting any cool passing by shots like I did in my last motorcycle video. Doing those is a lot of work. And I'm super tired today, so I'll get you next time. Don't worry. Paisley, Oregon. And I am at the Paisley Caves in Paisley, Oregon. I just got here. It had rained this morning, which is really surprising. And it's still kind of raining now. And I am completely alone out here. I'm gonna head up to the caves and see what they look like. See, way out there, that is Summer Lake. It's mostly a dry lake, but with this rain, maybe it won't be completely dry. And my hotel is somewhere over there, really far. Ooh, you know what that is? There might be bats living in here. The amount of guano on every flat surface. Yeah, an animal was definitely sleeping there. Hopefully there are no animals here now. I am quite defenseless. Unless this is... What's that one game where you have nothing but a camera to defend yourself? Yeah, animals definitely live here. I hope I don't run into any of the variety with big teeth. What is that? Well, it was a bird. I'm not going in there, sorry. Look, that's where we came from, all the way down there. A little itty bitty bike. You know what the best part about being out here, which might be hard to catch on camera, it is incredibly quiet. Camera makes noise and I'll stop yapping, but it's just so quiet. There's just not a sound. Can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but I swiped a towel from the hotel, and I actually talked to one of the ladies there, and she had this packing foam. She gave me 3 little square sheets. I'm only using 2 because I couldn't fit 3. And I just sandwiched them in here in a little bit of an attempt to cushion this horrid seat. It's actually, it's okay. I mean, it's better than nothing. I don't know, if this works out pretty well, I may just take it from the hotel. They'll just charge me for it, I don't care. I'm not gonna ride home in pain like I did the first day, because it was just so bad. But so far, I've ridden about 60-something miles today, and a lot of it was on this, and it's actually an improvement, but I'm gonna ride back to the hotel when I'm done here, and then we'll see how I feel, how my buttocks feels when I get there. By the way, I have no way of looking at the footage that I'm getting on this, and if you can tell, that white mark right there, if the footage is ruined, that's why. I'm gonna keep using this and hope for the best, because it's a Hero 3 and I don't have a computer or anything to look at the footage on the SD card. So if it's ruined, I'm sorry. had a bit of a scary moment yesterday and this morning. When I was at Lake Albert, I decided, oh, I should check my tires. I didn't check them that morning. And I checked them over there, and they were about 25 PSI or something. I set off at 35 from home, and I hadn't checked until then. And it was a little low, so I pumped it up. And then this morning I checked before I set out, and there was barely any air in there. You know what I think it was? It was the valve stem is loose. I could move it around by hand. I'm thinking that's what it was. So I tightened it down, I pumped it up, and I was able to push it in by hand like a bicycle tire, and I pumped it up, and after that I can't, and it's at 32 or something right now. And yeah, that was kind of a scary moment. My home DIY tubeless conversion, which I feel like is giving me peace of mind in case I get a flat, because imagine changing a tube out here. So that was kind of a scary moment. Hopefully that was all it was the valve stem was loose and I tightened it up. And hopefully that's the end of that, but figured I should mention it. This is a prime example of my first time doing this. I know that this red dot is supposed to be where the valve stem is, which is over here. And that's the light part of the tire, which it's supposed to go where the valve stem is. And I thought when I was doing this, like, oh yeah, it's supposed to be opposite of the valve stem. I know what I'm doing. Sure enough, I did not know what I was doing. And that's why I think there's like 6 or 7 wheel weights on this side. Like, I did not want to take the tire off and redo it. And I had a bunch of wheel weights, so I said, you know what, I'm just gonna do this. There's like 4 or 5 on this side. I covered them with tape. 2 on this side, and actually there's there's one more down there. So yeah, definitely tell this was the first time I mounted my own tires. The rear I got right. The rear I have the dot next to the valve stem. Can't really show you because it's in there, but this tire only needed 1 weight, and it was opposite of the valve stem. It's about here. So yeah, when you do it right, you don't need a bunch of wheel weights. Oh, I'll remember that for next time. And if I do it again, maybe I'll film it. Now that I know what I'm doing, sort of. Yeah, that was the first time I've ever changed tires on anything myself. And it was, I don't want to say it was easy, but it was easy. It was easy in a sense. The front tire went on much easier. I had to reseat the rear at least 7 or 8 times because every time I pumped it up with air, it wouldn't seat the bead. What I ended up doing is I put the tube in, seated the bead most of the way on one side, deflated it, took the tube out, and then put the valve stem back in and tried to reseat the bead again. And that time it worked, but it took 8 different attempts of seating that tire onto that wheel before I got it right. The front one, first try. I did the front one first, and I thought, oh, this is easy. And no, it wasn't. It was a pain. In the middle of the forest, where there was once a forest fire, there's this very new paved bridge. This road is in great condition compared to what I've been riding on, and goes over a very clear river. Oh, nice. Ew, you know what that is? It's like a wasp nest. Ew. Glad it's been taken care of. It's right underneath the bridge. That's a big one too, holy crap.